Thanks for being with us here at 4 o'clock this afternoon. I'm Jason Wheeler. Over the next 2 days, former President Bill Clinton and former Secretary of State Hillary Clinton will be deposed by the House Oversight Committee behind closed doors in New York. Lawmakers want to know about any ties they have to convicted sex offender Jeffrey Epstein. The deposition will focus on a range of topics, including how the government allegedly mishandled an inquiry into Jeffrey Epstein and convicted associate Ghislaine Maxwell, and how Epstein allegedly used powerful people to protect him.
We have said from day one that we want to talk to former President Bill Clinton, and the other person we want to talk to is current President Donald Trump.
Hillary Clinton is going first today, followed by the former president tomorrow. The deposition was briefly paused, though, after a photo from inside the room was leaked, which is against committee rules. In her opening statement, Clinton said she had no involvement with Epstein or with Ghislaine Maxwell. Important to note here, the Clintons have never been accused of wrongdoing by Epstein survivors, and both deny any knowledge of Epstein's crimes. And as you just heard there, Democrats also want to speak with prominent Republicans next. A ground stop has now been lifted at DFW International Airport after an equipment outage. Airport leaders tell us that the issue was with a landing instrument that impacted one of the runways there at the big airport. Officials also say that the low cloud cover played a role in grounding flights. All right, did you have any trouble driving into work today? Speaking of that, the fog was pretty dense this morning in parts of North Texas, but now we're looking at a lot of sunshine all across our area. We're going to hear from senior meteorologist Jesse Hawila about our forecast coming up in just a moment. First, though, we are keeping an eye on those roadways out there. Right now, we are seeing a car fire that is blocking I-30 in the westbound lanes, not far from I-35E. And you know that is going to back things up, and it is already doing that, as you can see there on your screen. We're still working to get more details on that car fire. We will have an update for you coming up in just a little bit. Let's get an update now on some breaking news. 5 people were detained after an hour-long crash this morning. It started after the driver ran a stop sign in Midlothian. When an Ellis County deputy attempted to pull the car over, people from inside the car, they say, started shooting and throwing items at officers. The Fort Worth Police Department joined the chase eventually and used tire spikes to stop that car, which caused it to flip and end the pursuit.
As you can imagine, the last thing we want to hear come over the radio are shots fired or officer down. And when you hear that, obviously, we all come together. Everyone wearing the uniform comes together and does exactly what they can to help each other immediately.
4 people were detained and treated for injuries at a nearby hospital. We've learned that the driver inside the car was found unresponsive. We're still working to learn his condition and whether he has also been booked into the jail. Dallas Mayor Eric Johnson is calling for a vote about the future of City Hall, according to an internal memo now. Leaders need to figure out if they are going to decide to stay put there and make the necessary repairs, which could cost a lot of money, or to just pack up and find a new home for City Hall. Several council members have raised concerns about the cost since a $1 billion renovation price tag presented last fall is now up several $100 million more. That meeting begins at noon next Wednesday. Meantime, the city's police association says that Dallas should not be talking about spending billions on renovations without building a new police academy. Today, every Dallas police labor union joined forces to encourage support for the academy and training facility. Voters approved a bond to build that academy, but it has still been long delayed. Today, Irving will decide whether to stick with DART or let voters have a say in that. So far, Farmers Branch and Plano have pulled back their elections after accepting a new funding deal with DART. It'll give them more sales tax revenue and a seat on the DART board. Addison and Highland Park say that they're planning to keep the measure on the May 2nd ballot in their areas. As early voting continues right now, it is getting close to wrapping up. Tarrant County voters are noticing something on their ballots, a name for a candidate that has already dropped out.
Look, you are still going to see my name on the ballot for county judge. I am no longer seeking the office of county judge, but it was too late for me to take my name off the ballot.
Okay, so there you heard the explanation there. Democratic Fort Worth Representative Mark Vesey pulled out of that race last year due to redistricting. He was hoping to challenge County Judge Tim O'Hare, but instead says he's going to focus on his final year in Congress. So again, his name is on the ballot even though he is no longer running. Coming up tonight at 6, our Scoop Jefferson will have more on the confusion and the potential impact of this. A reminder that tomorrow is your last day to vote early in this year's primary election. A heads up for voters in Dallas County during the early voting period. You are allowed to cast your ballot anywhere in Dallas County, but that changes on election day. If you hold off and wait to vote on March 3rd, you will be required to vote at your designated polling place only on that day. And make sure that you join us on WFAA Plus as the results come in during the March 3rd primaries there. Our whole political team, including yours truly, will be live on Tuesday. We'll be with the campaigns across Texas, breaking down all of the numbers for you on the big board, and we'll have a panel of experts all night long. So join us next Tuesday night on WFAA Plus. That app is free to download straight to your TV.